Hello, and welcome to a training video on the Soundcraft VI6 digital sound console. I'm going to teach you how to turn it on, get some microphones turned on, get sound going, and then play a CD if you need to. So to power on the console, this is obviously the most important thing. It involves 3 steps. The first is powering on these 2 racks underneath the console. And the buttons are on the right side of the racks. Those will turn on. You're then going to hit the power on button in the middle of the console. Once you hit the power on button in the middle of the console, I like to wait until I see the progress bar that tells me it's booting up, because that's when I know sound will start to flow. Once that happens, you have to come to this big old rack here and hit the green on button. It is imperative that you do it in that order. If you do it by hitting on here first and then turn the console on, you're going to get a very big pop sound out of the speakers, which is not good for it. So make sure you do it in that order. So now that we've got the console powered on, we want to make sure that we're on the proper fader pages, so that way we're controlling the microphones that we want to control and making sure that we can get the sound that we need to. So to do that, we're going to be working with this center area here, and this is kind of like your main place to control what you're seeing on the console. So the first thing is you want to make sure that mute group 4 is off, and that's this guy right here. So where it says mute and VCA groups, if you see mute group 4 lit up, you want to hit it so it's off. The next thing you want to do is make sure that if you're using Patrick's microphone, the Welcome microphone, or any of the wireless mics up on the stage, you want to make sure you're on input fader page A, and that light will be lit up. If it's on B or C, you want to make sure you hit A, and the faders will jump, so you're on the right page. Lastly, you want to make sure that we're on fader or master fader group E. So you'll see fader pages here. It may be on VCA or any other one. Hit E, and that will give you the most control over what you're going to be hearing from the stage. There may be other times where you have a video playing from Media 1 down in the production room. If that's the case, we're going to use the video master fader here. And again, you have to be on fader page E, which you can access by hitting the E button up at the top of the center section here, and then just making sure your video fader is on with the green light, and just push that fader up. For most situations and events here in the Worship Center, at some point you'll most likely have to play music from a CD. If that's the case, this is the CD player you're going to use here. And it works the same as any other CD player you've ever used in your entire life. There is an eject button for the CD tray. There are play, pause, stop, forward, backwards, transport controls. Literally, if you have used a VCR, CD player, DVD player, you can use this. Now, as far as specific microphones go, if you're going to be using Patrick's microphone or the Welcome microphone, those 2 faders are over here. They're going to be the 2 closest to the center area. So if you want to turn them on, all you have to do is hit on up top here, and then it will turn green, indicating that it's on, and then move the fader up to a comfortable volume level. The wireless microphones, the wireless handheld microphones, those are all going to be on the last bank of faders over here. And again, that's the same thing. You're going to turn them on, and then just push the fader up to whatever a comfortable volume level is for the situation. Now, anytime you're using wireless microphones, that means Patrick's mic, the Welcome microphone, or any wireless handhelds, before you start, always put new batteries in. And batteries can be found under the console right here, because you don't want to be in the middle of an event and then the microphone runs out of batteries. So always replace the batteries if you're using a wireless microphone. Now, when you're done and you need to power off the console, it's going to be the same process as when you turn it on, except in the reverse order. So what that means is the first thing that we're going to do is turn off the speakers by hitting the red off button. Okay, now it's not going to turn off right away. The red button isn't going to light up, but this green light will be blinking, indicating that the system is powering down. Once you've hit that off button, you then come to the console, hit power on, which is weird, I know, because we're turning it off. And then you're going to get a selection of what you want to do in the center console here. So you'll say power off the console, and it will ask you if you want to save any changes that you've made to the loaded show. You'll hit no. And that's going to shut down. Once that starts shutting down, you're going to come down to the racks here, and you're just going to turn these off. After you've powered off the console in the exact manner that I mentioned, you must put the cover back on. This is very important because we don't want dust getting into the guts of the console. So please put the dust cover on.